happy? Students, in our previous class we have learnt a beautiful poem named The Sower. Yes or no? In this class we are going to learn a beautiful and popular story, and the title of this particular supplementary reader is The Bishops Candlesticks. What is the title? The Bishops Candlesticks. Have you all seen candlesticks? Okay. This story was set in France. Okay. And this particular story was written in the French language by Victor Hugo. You can browse more about Victor Hugo. And this particular story is all about a bishop and his servant. Okay. Once there lived a poor man called Jean Valjean. What is his name? Jean Valjean. He stole some silver spoons and forks from the bishop's basket. And the servant or the helper who is working there, her name is Madame Magloire. And this Madame Magloire is a helper for the Bishop Bonvenue. Okay, Bishop, the other name for Bishop and is called Monseigneur. Monseigneur. Monseigneur means Bishop. Okay, Monseigneur. Monseigneur. And what is the name of the Monseigneur here? What is the name of the Bishop here? Bonvenue. Bonvenue is the name of the Bishop, name of the Monseigneur. And the helper is Madame Magloire. And who has stolen the silver spoons and silver forks? Jean Valjean. And this Jean Valjean did not even recognize or did not apologize for his mistakes. But the bishop forgave him. Okay. Who forgives? Jean Valjean, the bishop. Okay, this is the outline of this particular story. A bishop, his name is Bonvenue and his helper's name is Madame Magloire. He also has a sister, and in the previous night, this Jean Valjean sat with the bishop and they had the dinner together. The next morning, this Madame Magloire is rushing and she is informing to the bishop that, did you see the basket, the silver basket? The bishop said, yes, I can see the silver basket here. It was in the garden. Okay. So, this bishop gave this silver basket to this madam, but there was no spoons and forks there. So, she was shocked and she is telling that this person, Jean Valjean, has stolen everything. And they could see an evidence there. In the wall in the garden, there are evidence, there are footsteps. Okay. This person traced his footsteps on the wall. So this bishop came to know that Jean Valjean is the thief. And the next day, Jean Valjean and his sister, they were eating in the dining table, and meanwhile 3 policemen came, 3 French policemen, along with this Jean Valjean. And they informed to the bishop that we found this person outside the chapel or in the street, and his appearance looks as he did some mistakes. Okay, so they brought him here. And at once the bishop understood that Jean Valjean stole everything the previous night. But still he forgives him and he informs to the policeman that I gave these silver spoons and silver forks to Jean Valjean, and I also asked him to take the 2 candlesticks also to earn money. This Jean Valjean was shocked. What is this bishop is saying? I stole everything from him, but still he is forgiving me, and he is saying that the bishop gave everything to Jane Virgin. Such a kind man the bishop is. Yes or no? Okay. Now, but still this Jane Virgin did not recognize or did not realize his mistake. Okay. Then the policeman left. The bishop asked them to leave the place. Now the bishop is telling that, please take these candlesticks also with you. You can get more money. With that money, as you promised, please be an honest man. Okay. So with that money, do something fruitfully. Do something usefully. This is the advice given by the bishop. Alright students. Can you just understand the outline of this particular story? Now watch the animation of the story, The Bishop's Candlestick. You will get more idea about the story. Then we can read the text again and let's see what happened there.
Bishops Candlesticks by Victor Hugo. A few moments later, he was breakfasting at the very table at which Jean Valjean had sat on the previous evening. As he ate his breakfast, Monseigneur Bienvenu remarked gaily to his sister, who said nothing, and to Madame Magloire, who was grumbling under her breath, that one really does not need either fork or spoon, even of wood, in order to dip a bit of bread in a cup of milk. A pretty idea, truly, said Madame Magloire to herself, as she went and came, to take in a man like that, and to lodge him close to oneself. And how fortunate that he did nothing but steal. Ah, mon Dieu, it makes one shudder to think of it. As the brother and sister were about to rise from the table, there came a knock at the door.
Come in,
said the bishop. The door opened. A singular and violent group made its appearance on the threshold. 3 men were holding a 4th man by the collar. The 3 men were gendarmes. The other was Jean Valjean. A brigadier of gendarmes, who seemed to be in command of the group, was standing near the door. He entered and advanced to the bishop, making a military salute.
Monseigneur,
said he. At this word, Jean Valjean, who was dejected and seemed overwhelmed, raised his head with an air of stupefaction.
Monseigneur,
he murmured.
So he's not the cure. Silence,
said the gendarme.
He's Monseigneur the Bishop.
In the meantime, Monseigneur Bienvenu had advanced as quickly as his great age permitted.
Ah, here you are,
he exclaimed, looking at Jean Valjean.
I'm glad to see you. Well, but how's this? I gave you the candlesticks too, which are of silver like the rest, and for which you can certainly get 200 francs. Why did you not carry them away with your forks and spoons?
Jean Valjean opened his eyes wide and stared at the venerable bishop with an expression which no human tongue can render any account of.
Monseigneur,
said the brigadier of gendarmes.
So what this man said is true then? We came across him. He was walking like a man who is running away. We stopped him to look into the matter. He had the silver. And he told you,
interposed the bishop with a smile,
that it had been given to him by a kind old fellow of a priest with whom he had passed the night. I see how the matter stands. And you have brought him back here. It is a mistake. In that case,
replied the brigadier.
We can let him go? Certainly,
replied the bishop. The gendarmes released Jean Valjean, who recoiled.
Is it true that I am to be released?
He said, in an almost inarticulate voice, as though he were talking in his sleep.
Yes, thou art released. Dost thou not understand?
said one of the gendarmes.
My friend,
Resumed the bishop.
before you go, here are your candlesticks. Take them.
He stepped to the chimney-piece, took the 2 silver candlesticks, and brought them to Jean Valjean. The 2 women looked on without uttering a word, without a gesture, without a look which could disconcert the bishop. Jean Valjean was trembling in every limb. He took the 2 candlesticks mechanically, and with a bewildered air,
Now,
said the bishop.
go in peace. By the way, when you return, my friend, it is not necessary to pass through the garden. You can always enter and depart through the street door. It is never fastened with anything but a latch, either by day or by night.
Then, turning to the gendarmes,
You may retire, gentlemen.
the gendarmes retired. Jean Valjean was like a man on the point of fainting. The bishop drew near to him and said in a low voice,
Do not forget, never forget, that you have promised to use this money in becoming an honest man.
Jean Valjean, who had no recollection of ever having promised anything, remained speechless.
Students, take page number 128, 128. The Bishops Candlesticks from Les Miserables. The next morning at sunrise, Monseigneur Bienvenu was strolling in his garden. Madame Magloire ran up to him in utter consternation. Monseigneur means bishop. What is the name of the bishop? Bienvenu. And it should be pronounced as Monseigneur. Monseigneur. Okay? And Madame Magloire. We can pronounce it differently, and as per the French pronunciation it is Magloire. What's the meaning of consternation? A worried, sad feeling after receiving an unpleasant surprise. So she came to meet the bishop with sad emotion as she came to know that the basket of silver has gone somewhere. Okay. Monseigneur, Monseigneur, she exclaimed, does your grace know where the basket of silver is? So she is asking the bishop, do you know where the basket of silver is? Yes, replied the bishop. What the bishop is saying? Yes. Jesus the Lord be blessed, she resumed. I did not know what had become of it. So she is saying, I did not know what happened to that, and let Jesus the Lord be blessed. The next page. The bishop had just picked up the basket in a flower bed. He presented it to Madame Magloire. So he took the basket from the garden and he gave it to Madame Magloire. Here it is. Well, said she, nothing in it? And the silver? Oh, returned the bishop, so it is the silver which troubles you. I don't know where it is. Till now, Madame Magloire is asking the basket, and so he gave the basket to her. It was there in the garden. But now, again, Madame Magloire is telling that where is the silver? Where it has gone. So the bishop is saying, you are not worrying about the basket, you are worrying about the silver. Though silver is troubling you. Great, good God, it is stolen. That man who was here last night has stolen it. So Madame Magloire is saying it was stolen by the man who spent the night yesterday with you. Okay, so she is saying, she is reporting about a man, and that man had spent his night along with the bishop. So she is saying it is stolen. That man who was here last night has stolen it. Who is saying this? Who is reporting this? Madam Magloire. In a twinkling, with all the vivacity of an alert old woman, Madame Magloire had rushed to the oratory, entered the alcove, and returned to the bishop. The bishop had just bent down and was sighing as he examined a plant of Cochlearia des Gallions, which the basket had broken as it fell across the bed. He rose up at Madame Magloire's cry. Now Madame Magloire rushed inside the chapel, or it's a place where we can pray, okay? An area in a room or small building that is used for private prayer or worship. So we can consider it as the chapel. And in the meantime, the bishop bent and he is looking at the flower bed there because of this basket, and there he can see some damage in the garden. Monseigneur, the man is gone. The silver had been stolen. So she rushed to the chapel and she is searching the man, but he cannot find him. And now she is coming back and she is informing to the bishop that man is gone now. The silver has been stolen by him. As she uttered this exclamation, her eyes fell upon a corner of the garden. And while she is informing this to the bishop, she is seeing something. Let's see what is that. Where traces of the wall having been scaled were visible. The coping of the wall had been torn away. So there they can see the trace of someone who climbed on the wall. Okay. Stay, yonder is the way he went. He jumped over into Cockfield Lane. Oh, the abomination! He has stolen our silver. What is the meaning of abomination? A person who has done something extremely offensive. Abomination means a person who has done something extremely offensive. Here, the bishop remained silent for a moment. Then he raised his grave eyes and said gently to Madame Magloire, "And in the first place was that silver ours?" And he is saying, is the silver very important for us, for people like us especially? Madame Magloire was speechless. Another silence ensued. Then the bishop went on. The bishop continued speaking. Madame Magloire, I have for a long time detained that silver wrongly. It belonged to the poor. Who was that man? A poor man, evidently. So he is saying that till today I kept those silver spoons and fork, but it is not belonging to me. It belongs to the poor people. And the man who spent the night with me yesterday is also a poor man. So it belongs to that person. Alas, Jesus, returned Madame Magloire. It is not for my sake, nor for Mademoiselle. It makes no difference to us, but it is for the sake of Monseigneur. What is Monseigneur to eat with now? So she is saying, so the bishop, with what the bishop can eat hereafter? The bishop gazed at her with an air of amazement. Oh, come. Are there no such things as pewter forks or spoons? Pewter, it is like aluminium fork or spoons. With that I can eat. Then Madame Magloire shrugged her shoulders. Pewter had an order. So this kind of material, this metal has some order. Next, iron forks and spoons. Then Madame Magloire made an expressive grimace. Iron has a taste. Very well, said the bishop. Wooden ones then. A few moments later, he was breakfasting at the very table at which Jean Valjean had sat on the previous evening. As he ate his breakfast, Monseigneur Welcome remarked gaily to his sister, who said nothing, and to Madame Magloire, who was grumbling under her breath, that one really does not need either fork or spoon, even of wood, in order to dip a bit of bread in a cup of milk. So now the bishop is sitting in the dining area with his sister, and to have bread and milk, to soak the or to dip the bread, a bit of bread in a cup of milk, there is no need of fork or spoon. We can use our hands. A pretty idea, truly, said Madame Magloire to herself as she went and came. To take in a man like that and to lodge him close to oneself, and how fortunate that he did nothing but steal. Oh, mon Dieu. Mon Dieu means my God. It makes one shudder to think of it. So Madame Magloire is saying, we are giving too much space for that man. So Jean Valjean, we have to keep him in a limit, but we allow him to take more advantage, and that's why he gave in return. What did he give? He stole everything. As the brother and sister were about to rise from the table, there came a knock at the door. In the meantime, somebody is knocking the door. Come in, said the bishop. The door opened. A singular and violent group made its appearance on the threshold. 3 men were holding a 4th man by the collar. The 3 men were gendarmes. The other was Jean Valjean. Who are gendarmes? It is not gendarmes, it is gendarmes. Gendarmes. Gendarmes are the members of the French police force. So they are French policemen. So these 3 men, along with Jean Valjean, they enters into the bishop's cabin. A brigadier of gendarmes, who seemed to be in command of the group, was standing near the door. He entered and advanced to the bishop, making a military salute. Monseigneur, said he. At this word, Jean Valjean, who was dejected and seemed overwhelmed, raised his head with an air of stupefaction. What is meant by that? A feeling of being so surprised or shocked that you cannot speak or think clearly. Who is in this state now? Jean Valjean. Monseigneur, he murmured, so he is not the cure. Silence, said the gendarmes. He is Monseigneur the bishop. In the meantime, Monseigneur Bienvenu had advanced as quickly as his great age permitted. Oh, here you are, he exclaimed, looking at Jean Valjean. I am glad to see you. Well, but how is this? I gave you the candlesticks too, which are of silver like the rest, and for which you can certainly get 200 francs. Why did you not carry them away with your forks and spoons? So this bishop is asking, I gave you the 2 candlesticks along with you to take back, but you didn't take those 2 candlesticks. You can get 200 francs. You can get more money if you take those candlesticks. Why didn't you take it? Jean Valjean opened his eyes wide. He He was shocked and stared at the venerable bishop with an expression which no human tongue can render any account of. Venerable meaning deserving respect due to age, importance, or wisdom. So he is staring at the old man, and render to express something in a different language, to express or perform something. Monsignor, said the brigadier of gendarmes. So what this man said is true then. We came across him. He was walking like a man who is running away. We stopped him to look into the matter. He had the silver. So these policemen are informing that we saw this man. He was walking just like he was running. So we had a doubt and we caught him and we found these silver, and that's why we bring him back. And he told you, interposed the bishop with a smile, that it had been given to him by a kind old fellow of a priest with whom he had passed the night. It refers to himself, the bishop. I see how the matter stands, and you have brought him back here. It is a mistake. And he is saying that he might have informed you that an old man gave these silver to me, and so bringing him back is a mistake. So this is the quote of the bishop. In that case, replied the brigadier, we can let him go. Certainly, replied the bishop. The gendarmes released Jean Valjean, who recoiled. It is true that I am to be released, he said in an almost inarticulate voice, and as though he were talking in his sleep. So this man, this Jean Valjean, is saying it's true that I am to be released, and his voice is very low as he is speaking while he is sleeping. Okay. Yes, thou art released. Dost thou not understand? Said one of the gendarmes. My friend, resumed the bishop, before you go, here are your candlesticks. Take them. So the bishop is saying, my friend, before you leave, take those two candlesticks. He stepped to the chimney piece, took the two silver candlesticks, and brought them to Jean Valjean. The two women looked on without uttering a word, without a gesture, without a look which could disconcert the bishop. Who are those two women? One is Madame Magloire and the other is the sister of the bishop. So these two women are looking. They were shocked to see why this bishop is doing like this. He is giving the two candlesticks voluntarily to Jean Valjean. So these two women are looking and they cannot speak without uttering a word. They are blinking. Jean Valjean was trembling in every limb. He took the two candlesticks mechanically and with a bewildered air. Now, said the bishop, go in peace. By the way, when you return, my friend, it is not necessary to pass through the garden. You can always enter and depart through the street door. It is never fastened with anything but a latch, either by day or by night. So again, bishop is saying, when you come back, or you are leaving, you can use the main entrance. Please don't use the garden. Use any shortcut way to go. Okay, you can use the entrance. Then turning to the gendarmes, you may retire, gentlemen. You may leave, gentlemen. The gendarmes retired. They left. Jean Valjean was like a man on the point of fainting. The bishop drew near to him and said in a low voice, Underline these words, students. Do not forget, never forget that you have promised to use this money in becoming an honest man. Do not forget, don't forget, and never forget that you have promised that to use this money in becoming an honest man. He'll use this money to become an honest man. Jane Vol'jin, who had no recollection of ever having promised anything, remained speechless. But this Jane Vol'jin, he did not remember any such promise he had given. Okay, so now he is speechless. Till now, I don't think that Jane Vol'jin is realizing his mistake. Yes or no, students? He did not ask apology. He did not regret his mistake. We people are also behaving like this sometimes. We are not realizing our mistakes. We are not regretting. Yes or no? Okay. So this is all about the story, the Bishops Candlesticks. Is that clear? Students, I hope you all have understood our today's class. See you all in the next class, students. Until, take care. Thank you.